Dudes. Let's do some power rankings after week 3. I have not taken into consideration how week 4 has gotten started. So here we go. Millie will hold down that number 12 spot for the second straight week. Kind of a rough week, close in some categories against Trev, who's the defending champ. So advanced metrics do say that the loss was a little bit closer than 10-0. Mookie's not being Mookie. We're looking forward to getting Daniel Murphy back. Hopefully that'll be a little bit of boost. Lots of pitching turnover on his roster, lots of adds and drops. Garrett Cole had a rough week. He should settle in. There's some pieces there, but when you've won 3 categories after 3 weeks, you're not going to move up. Next, we're going to go to the number 11 spot. Dave actually drops a spot. Players are there, but literally nobody hit. He had 5 bombs and 18 RBIs this week. But he's got Chris Davis. He's got JD Martinez. No one hit. I'm not sure what happened. His pitching's never going to be great. Keep holding out for Keuchel to sign there. Next is going to be Sebs is going to move up to the 10 spot. Lots of close categories especially on offense in the loss to Clough. We're waiting for Jose Ramirez to really show up. You expect that to happen. AJ Pollock has come back to earth. I think his offense is going to be middle of the road all year. He needs Sale to be a dude because after that his starting pitching is just not great. Melman is next. He moved down a spot. He does move down one. The sabermetrics do reveal that the stats weren't terrible. His numbers weren't bad. So that's why he doesn't move down more. But if things don't turn around quickly, he's going to drop a lot in the rankings. Matt Chapman, I think, is going to have a really nice year. He needs Kluber and Nola in the worst way to turn it around because he is absolutely doomed if they don't. Next is Phoebes. He moves down 2 spots in the power rankings. Definitely some shakeup this week. Really a rough week. He had a nice week from George Springer. I just don't see a lot of offensive longevity with this squad. He'll win saves, like I mentioned, but he's very, very top-heavy with his starting pitching. He has 2 great starters, horses in Scherzer and Snell, but after that, it's a lot of matchup play, and that can get dicey. Cluffy will actually stay the same. The only reason he doesn't really move up is because there's a lot of shakeup, which you'll see, but a nice bounce back on offense and pitching. So Yohan Moncada is really looking legit. Gleyber Torres is being asked to put a lot on his shoulders right now with Judge and Stanton out of the line and Hicks out of the lineup for New York. So I think once that lineup comes together, I actually think Gleyber's going to do even better. Sigh of relief with DeGrom, left a game with an elbow injury, but it looks like not that big of a deal. There's some pieces on this squad. Kershaw looking good on the onset, coming back from the injury. Biggest drop of the week is yours truly, the commish, moving down 3 spots into the 6 hole. Really a rough week. I think the pitching will eventually come together. Syndergaard, not himself right now, but offense is a concern. Big time. Scotty will stay the same this week in the number 5 spot. He had a good win, but the hitting was pretty weak, pretty low ops and average there. He's riding his dogs on the pitching end. So the only people that he threw out for a start this week were Castillo, Corbin, and Paxton. They all 3 delivered for him. So that tells you what he thinks about the rest of his pitching staff. I hope those 3 guys can keep it up. Next, Gordy moves up a spot. Really a solid week, a balanced team, tons of strikeouts, and Donaldson, Tim Anderson, Clint Frazier stepping up. You might say, okay, yeah, those guys aren't going to keep it up. That's fine. Even if they don't, I think Tim Anderson might be for real. Donaldson looks like he might be having a decent little year. I don't think the same for Frazier necessarily, but he's got Marte and Stanton on the DL, so he's been able to do all this with those two guys not even contributing yet. So Gordy moves up to number 4 this week. Biggest jump so far is going to be Elu. He moves up 6 spots to the number 3. I know it's extreme, but his team's good. Solid week. Joey Gallo isn't going to sustain a 478 average every single week. I think he had 4 bombs. That could stay the same, but like Tommy Pham, looking good. Musgrove is pitching out of his mind. Cole Hamels is solid. Vintage Arrieta, if that keeps up. Pitching, I thought, was really going to be his downfall, but if those guys keep performing, he's going to compete. Matty will stay at number 2. Another good win. His 2 rookies in Tatis and Alonso are getting it done. The pitching is vulnerable, though. 3 good closers, but I think he's actually pretty soft after Bum and Verlander. Trev will stay at number 1. No reason to move him after another good win. Christian Yelich hit 8 bombs last week. 8. Can Carlos Rodon, Gaussman, Archer keep up this good pitching for Trevor? If so, then the league is in some serious trouble. If not, though, his team will come back down to earth a little bit. And hey, Shane Green, 2 more saves. Good luck this week. See you, dudes.